Hey, creative community, welcome back. And for those who don't know who I am Mugsy, and this is my channel here. I work with discarded materials to make textual artwork. My art, whichever medium I end up working in, isn't just about creating something beautiful, it's also all about making a positive impact and using what already is on hand. Everyone can benefit from creating. It gives you time to play and to sink down into a cozy space and disengage from your stressors. For me, it helps me focus on something light and fun while my left brain works on problem solving. So, I'm on a quest to spark your interest to create, to inspire you to see the artistic potential all around us, and to, of course, create for the greater good. Let's get started. So it's just turned fall here. We just had our fall equinox in this part of the country in the United States. It's my favorite time of year. I try to do the most I can to get the most out of fall. So as you can see come up here on the screen, this is Mr. Apollo, who is our 13-year-old now. He definitely likes to be in my studio when I'm working, and he is such a sweetheart. We've had him now for, I don't know, about 9 years. So he's pretty embedded into the family. So I decided to make a crescent moon wreath this year. And I thought, hey, this is a good time to see if I still can make videos. Fortunately, this video has been edited down to about 20 minutes. It's still something that takes me a long time to do. I think there was about 5 or 6 hours of footage in the end, and that was still paused in between, different days of working on this. So it gave me a good run and to see if I still knew how to do things. I also learned a new editing software here lately, so that way I don't have to give any more money to Adobe right now. And I'm sick of paying them. I'm sick of paying them and them taking away things. So I'm using a new program to edit, and yeah, I got the hang of it pretty quick. Anyways, back to the project. This crescent moon is hanging in my window right now, and it looks phenomenal. I really like the whole process of going out and gathering everything from the woods and the areas around here. I did that for one day, and then the next day I started working on the actual frame of the wreath with the sticks and whatnot I had found. Oh, that's, if you just heard a bark, that's McLeod. He lives with us now. There's been some changes in our life, so yeah, he had visited for the last 10 years, and now he's a permanent fixture. So he he's a good guy to have around. So big yellow dog. So I believe I've shown him to you in the past, but there'll be footage of him coming soon. As all with all my animals, because some things have happened in the world, and some things have happened in my world as far as animals, and we had kittens. Well, we didn't have kittens, of course. Everybody spayed and neutered, but a mama cat came and found us a few weeks before she gave birth, and had 4 kittens. So that was a fun experience to go through. So I'll share a little bit more on that, and we've got X-rays and whatnot of the little beings inside. So we'll do that, like I said, in a video along the way. So anyways, here, what I'm using other than the hot glue, which I'm trying to use a minimum amount of hot glue, is everything I found around this area. Probably everything I found within, 10 miles of my house. So we spent a few hours one morning popping out of the car and snipping a few weeds here and there and finding some cool things and a couple of the forest trails that we usually go to around here. So yeah. So besides making the frame, which this actually is the second footage of it, I created it completely different in the beginning, and it was awful. It was like I wasn't even using my brain. I wasn't layering the sticks like you should, one up, one down, and I was wondering, why is it so wobbly? Well, I hadn't created any tension, so of course. So if you're gonna make this, make sure that you do that. You see how the sticks are one on top of the other, and then the other side is the opposite. That works. That works really well. It's completely solid this way. So, and then the twine is just for extra support. Don't worry too much about what this looks like, because you're going to cover the majority of this up. You're going to see it from the back, but yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry so much about the shape also of the crescent moon, because you're going to cover a lot up and kind of create a shape with the materials that you end up using, because not everything is similar in sizes to each other, and the widths and whatnot. I really wanted to use some pine cones, but because this wreath, even though it's quite large, I didn't have room to put pine cones in it, and I couldn't for the life of me find 80 tiny pine cones this year. And it was really hard to find 80 of the pine tree, the moss, the stuff that was on the pine tree. I have very little of it, but it was still found a little. Here I am just going through and seeing where things fit. This is very much like an assemblage piece. Things just feel right when they're in the right place, and that's where I end up placing it. I try to spread out all the materials so all of it's not in one place. I try to use some to give shadows in some areas, some darker places and some lighter places. Even while I was creating it, I was still trying to figure out what exactly it was going to look like. It was a messy project too. I did it over multiple days, and with each cleanup, because I couldn't leave things out because I don't have a wall on one of the sides of my studio, so my animals can come and go as they please. Everything's in cabinets and whatnot, but I can't leave projects out yet. But that's going to be rectified here soon. So here I'm just, putting things in, seeing what it looks like, making final decisions. It's really just what you feel like doing and what you feel looks good. So back to pine cones. Like I said, I couldn't fit a pine cone on here, and I couldn't find the little ones. So I went ahead and broke off each individual little seed off the cone. Here's a tip: go in order from the top. Don't try to go down deeper into the cone and force one out. It's not going to happen. You have to just kind of peel them off. So I ended up making a little pine cone flower here at the bottom and the top of the moon. This whole time I was thinking, what am I going to do when I hang this? Do I want something to hang down in the middle? And you'll see here further in the video that I dehydrated some fruits, and my plan was to maybe hang an orange that was dried you know, from the center, like a slice of an orange, because you can kind of see through it, and when the sun comes through it, it's very pretty. And while doing some of this creating, I remembered that we had found this piece of hardened sap a couple years ago off of our pine tree. I went looking for it and finally found it in a little jar, and it's absolutely perfect. It glows when the sun hits it. It's this beautiful amber color. You'll see you'll see it at the end. Like I said, it's perfect. I ended up using a little acorn top for its hat and drilled two little holes in it and wrapped it in some thread to hang from the center. So as you can see here, everything has its place. I just might not know it yet. When I'm looking at it, it's either something needs to go here, or something looks bare, or something looks wrong. As the days went on, my finds started to dry out a little bit more, and the fluff started coming out of a lot of the flowers, which was pretty cool. I really liked. This wreath isn't meant to last forever. It's a seasonal wreath. If it does eventually start falling apart at some point, you're still going to have that beautiful base of the crescent moon that you can recreate something on if you want to. But, you know, this will hold up all year for me. The little red berries, they're rose hips. They're actually non-toxic to anybody, so if you end up hanging this in your house and pieces do end up falling off eventually, or your cat decides to climb the wall, that's not going to hurt them. While I was doing the project for the crescent wreath, I had done a simmer pot for a couple days. That's just where you cut up a whole bunch of, oh, yeah, hold on. Those are that day's harvest of tomatoes. We're still actually getting some. This is a couple weeks later than I'm doing the voiceover. So anyways, I'm not sure where I was at there, but yeah, while I was doing this project, we had a simmer pot going for a couple days, and that's just where you put in different scents as far as natural scents. So I had some cinnamon sticks, anise, apples, some oranges. I think I had a pear in there. I snipped a couple little branches of evergreen, and then snipped some flowers from my basil plants and my peppermint and spearmint plants, and just kind of simmer it. I used to do it on the stove because that's what I used to do, but because I'm in and out anymore and doing lots of things, I use a crock pot now, so it's so much safer and easy to clean. Once you're done simmering it for a couple days, I just put it outside and threw it into my compost, so my compost smelled pretty good for a couple days. So by this part, I'm realizing that I don't have a whole lot of room left, and that the oranges, although they really dried awesome and they really are translucent and they look great in the sun, I'm gonna use that hardened sap, which, like I said, looks beautiful. but I wanted to use the apple slices or the pear slices for something. And while I was doing the creating, I was just thinking, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have some kind of mushroom? Because I was out there looking for some, but also, household of animals. I didn't want to bring something in that potentially could get to the floor. And I thought about the shelf mushroom. So I did a quick look up on the internet and to remind me, just how they kind of look. And the pears just curved into each other perfectly, and I'm really proud of how the shelf mushrooms look. I did this big one on the bottom, and then when you see the finished wreath, I did a little patch up at the top. I really think it brought a lot to the wreath, and I got that mushroom element that I wanted, and I used up some of my dried fruit. Oh, right here. Here is the hardened tree sap. And you can't really see through it right yet, but I've had this piece for a while and I bought in this bottle. And here, I'll show you right here. Got a light behind it. Look how it glows. It's so pretty in the sunlight. It's just the perfect little gem to put hanging from this wreath. So it's done here. I think I nitpick on a few things after I'm done with this video, and then obviously I put the little acorn hardened sap in the center and took it outside to take some pictures. I had a storm rolling in on this day, so it was a little hard to get the footage because everything kept moving and the sun kept going in and out of these big fluffy clouds. I ended up getting some good pictures. Yeah, there's that little acorn sap. Here's some photos from inside. Made a little impromptu light box. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm glad that we can catch up a bit in the comments below. Say hello, welcome others, because I am back and I am in a good spot to be able to be back and to just get it rolling again. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to show you all the things that I have learned over the last while. In the next few weeks or so, I'll be getting back onto social media. It's something that I completely just shut down and didn't want to be a part of for a while. The world got a little crazy, right? So I need to kind of refresh all that and going on. I do not have a P.O. box right now, so do not send me anything if you see, my P.O. box anywhere, because I took it down most places, but I might have forgot someplace. I'll eventually get that up and going. I'm going to try to keep the ads to a minimum here. I know that since I've been gone, that the ad has gotten quite crazy with the YouTube videos, and I know a few other creators who have just all out stopped having ads on their videos. So that's something I am pondering to do too, because I'd like this to be a moment for you to sit down and to watch this with me and feel like we're together doing something, coming up with ideas and just creating. So, all right, you guys, I love your faces. I'm super happy to be back, and I hope to see you all creating for the greater good, right? Huh, there we go. There's McCloud again saying we're off. All right, you guys. Bye.